consider siya sa screening process natin, moving to the selection part of our recruitment. So sa selection part of our recruitment is each professional is evaluated for a position. So after the screening process and we've selected the applicants natin na gusto natin na because sometimes in a recruitment process merong mga 80 professionals na mag-apply. So you can't interview those 80 professionals. You can only are able to interviews handful of them. So you have to really pick and choose which applicants is most suited or most appropriate based on the job description that you have. So it has a lot of it allows you to analyze just based on their CV. So that's very important. Later on, I will give you an insight on what is the highly recommended format of resumes or CVs because hindi natin siya usually walang perfect na resume. There's no such thing as a perfect resume because but there are resumes that will give you enough data that you need for the recruiters to consider you for the position. So later on, I will discuss that. But for now, dito ulit balik tayo sa selection process. So, siguro nakahanap ka ng 3 applicant na perfect dun sa description ng ating hiring manager. So, you interview. Sa selection process, dito papasok yung mag-interview sila. I-interviewin mo sila, merong onboarding interview. So, you will invite them para sometimes, most likely right now, since na uso na ang online, usually virtual yung unang time na mag-speak kayo. So, there is some companies require na merong initial interview. So, dito mo aalamin yung mga certain confirmation regarding their resume. So, dito mo alamin if nakapag-work na ba siya dito sa company na to. So, i-confirm mo based dun sa CV, saan yung last employment nila, and tama if nagko-correlate or confirmed or verified naman na tama yung sinasabi niya dun sa nakalagay sa CV niya. So, that's the initial process. Tapos, dito din usually tinatanong kung ano ang expected salary. So, for the expected salary, since after this, you will be, before you became the recruiter, magiging applicant muna kayo. So, that's for sure. Diba? So, just a tip from me is never give an exact expected salary. So, for example, sinabi mo, this much thousand. Preferably, I highly recommend give a range. Give a range of expected salary para merong flexibility si recruiter when considering you for a position. Kasi kapag in-add mo sa isang value lang na parang wala siyang working space to negotiate or evaluate you pa. So, I'd highly recommend a range, give a range instead of a specific, parang yun na talaga. Wala nang iba, wala nang negotiation. So, yun. So, in the selection process, dun din siya pumapasok. So, para malaman namin kung pasok sa budget si applicant. Kasi of course, meron tayong specific budget na ibibigay yung company na yun lang yung pwede mong i-offer na salary sa ating applicant. So, dun siya pumapasok. And then also, pumapasok din dito yung assessment. So, yung mga assessment na need natin sa applicant. So, most of the time, these are IQ assessments. Usually short assessments lang to. Again, depende ulit sa company kung ano yung nire-require nila. I know if, for example, recruiter ka ng seaman, ng mga seaman, rigorous yung process nila ng assessment. So, merong psychological evaluation, then merong physical evaluation because, they have to ensure that you are capable kapag na-deploy ka na, that you will be okay, that you are capable of doing the task that is required of you. So, may mga ganong trabaho na rigorous yung process. So, as well, we all know naman na rigorous din yung process kapag flight attendant ka. So, if you are recruiting for a flight attendant, di ba, alam natin na pati yung height nila, yung medical nila, yung medical evaluation nila, it is also considered. And then there is the next interview. Kapag pasado ka sa mga assessments na need ng ating recruitment, then meron pang last. So these are either a panel interview or the final interview. So this is kapag nakapasa si applicant sa ating screening and selection process, which is the initial interview and the assessments, kapag nakapasa sa atin si applicant and pasok naman siya sa job description, we endorse the applicant sa hiring manager. So, it is up to the hiring manager if panel siya, baka may kasama siya na ibang magtatanong from the team or siya lang mag-isa. So, it depends. So, we have to, one of our jobs is makuha yung schedule ni applicant and yung schedule ni hiring manager and maghanap tayo ng perfect na interview schedule para sa kanilang dalawa. So that's part of our job na sa recruitment part ng HR. So scheduling that is also included in our task. So in this part of the interview, pag nagustuhan siya ni hiring manager, if pasado kay hiring manager, mapupunta na tayo sa next part. So, pasok na siya, okay na lahat, sa onboarding process na tayo. So, this is where we give the job offer or the JO. So, nandito yung kontrata. Nandito yung mga benefits, the compensation, nandito din yung mga policies ng sometimes nandito yung policies ng ating company. So you give the applicant a time to look it over. Then the applicant will get back to you. So usually merong conversation pa before they accept the job offer. So once na nagbigay mo na yung job offer and they said, yes, I accept the job offer. So lahat ng naka-indicate, then you give them the employee contract. So, doon na mapupunta ang hanggat ma-onboard mo na siya. So, the onboarding is i-orient mo na siya on the company policies, kung may mga kailangan na documents na kailangan ipasa si applicant. So, these are usually SSS, PhilHealth, yung medical nila, any declaration of yung NBI nila, mga ganong documents. So this is part of the onboarding process. So after that, you deploy them or you endorse them to the team. So that is the end-to-end recruitment or the standard process of recruitment. But again, as I've reiterated for this whole presentation is it depends really, the standards of process depends really on the company that you will be working with. But usually, ganun yung expectations nyo or ganun yung process when recruiting an applicant. So, ganun kalayo, ganun kahaba. So, di ba minsan minsan 3 months na nag-recruit ka pa rin ng isang applicants. Parang hindi pa rin nakakabalik sa inyo yung recruiter kasi there is a process pa. Hindi yung pagkatapos ng interview, yun alam na namin kung hired or hindi ka. No, there is a standard or SOP, standard procedure para sa each step ng ating end-to-end recruitment. So, are you still there? Can I hear if may reactions kayo? Yeah, nandyan pa kayo. Good. So, next natin, another part. So before I transition to the next part. So I've read this article about from Business Inquirer siya. So this article states that during 2022, there was a survey from HR professionals. The participants were HR professionals. So 400 HR professionals said that recruitment is the main focus or main priority of um, HR professionals. So this was back in 2022. So recruitment ang pinaka-need nila. So there are different contributors on why recruitment ang pinaka-need ng ating professionals. It can be because of the pandemic, because of the high turnover during the pandemic. So ngayon kailangan na ulit nila mag-recruit, and many more contributors on why that was the result of the research or the survey. So now, 2023, last June 2023, nag-release ulit si Inquirer ng ating new survey. The results of the survey were, hindi na si recruitment ang pinaka-main focus ng ating HR. It is retention. So, one of the highest nightmares ng ating HR is one of the highest nightmares ng HR is high turnover. What do I mean by high turnover? Madami nagre-resign. So, we want to avoid that as much as we can because we've poured, of course, during the recruitment process, ang dami nating time na ginamit for them to be recruited or to be onboarded. Kasama dito yung medical. Yung time mo and resource mo, the company resources that was used for this applicant to be onboarded. So we have to consider that. So a high turnover is not really good for us or for the company. So how do we retain employees? It leads me to the other facets of HR. Why do we need the other facets of HR? First is compensation and benefits. So handling employee compensation and benefits is an important part of human resource responsibilities. Besides payroll management, it includes travel expenses, paid vacation, sick leaves, retirement, health, and other benefits. So for compensation benefits, bakit ko nasabi na kasama to sa goals ng HR to have a high retention percentage. So for compensation and benefits, kailangan meron tayong good compensation strategy when we are here in this part of HR. So I'm sure na mas knowledgeable kayo on this part kasi alam ko meron kayong mga accounting subjects or may accounting units kayo. Am I correct? Can I get a confirmation if that's correct?
Yes, we have.
Yan, meron kayo. So mas knowledgeable kayo in payroll. Personally, hindi pa ako nakapag-work sa payroll because I am a psychology major and that wasn't really my priority, no? So I have only experience in recruitment, engagement, and training, learning and development. So for compensation and benefits, bakit ko po nasabi yun? So aside from the salary, the agreed salary of an applicant, it is very important din yung benefits. So sa company ba, sa offer ba ng company, yung benefits nila, meron ba silang medical compensation? Ano ba yung mga granted na leaves ng company? Meron ba silang EL, VL? Alam niyo ba yung mga ganun? Ano ibig sabihin ng EL? Can you chat in the chat box? EL stands for
Emergency leave.
correct. Emergency leave. Ano ang VL?
Vacation leave.
Vacation leave. Ano ang LWOP?
Is it the
Leave
law?
without pay.
Leave without pay. Correct. Good job. Ano ang SL?
Sick leave.
Mali, surprise leave. Charay, joke lang. Hindi sa surprise leave. Tama. Correct. Ano siya? Sick leave. So, may mga ganun bang benefits? So, that's part of your benefits, some companies only give this amount of leave, paid leave, vacation leave. So kasama yan sa kino-consider ng applicant when retaining inside the company. So if within a year hindi sustainable sa kanila yung benefits na nakukuha nila, they might leave. That is might be one of the reasons that they leave. So yeah. Next is employee engagement. So culture is very important inside the company. Sa school nyo pa lang, meron kayong vision, mission. Meron kayong identity na pinanghahawakan. So for employee engagement, we strive to use our culture and really engage with the employees so that the employer and the employee have a good relationship. So that's very vital inside the company, okay? So employees that are more engaged are more committed to their employers. Their investment fosters improved communication, more optimism, and a sense of pride in the company's workforce. So for this, employees are more committed kapag alam nila if their values are aligned with the company. So if you are, for example, someone who is an environmental advocate and you are working in a company that is not doing the values that you are aligned with, this might be a reason for some employees to leave and find the companies that is aligned with their vision and mission. So you all have your own values that you've committed to. So ganun din. So we have to ensure that our companies are having employee engagement makes our employees more committed kasi mas kilala nila yung company. Ang hirap maging committed sa isang bagay na hindi mo naman kilala. So employee engagement enriches the culture inside the company para mas makilala ng employees natin who do they work for. So you demonstrate that the welfare of your employees is one of the key values, but intentionally incorporating employee engagement in your corporate culture. So same with what I've discussed. So engaging employees and making them feel more involved allows them to think more creatively to solve problems. So these engagement, part of engagement, employee engagement and relations is team building, for example. So sila yung gumagawa nito, sila yung nag-organize. So sa employee engagement, if sa recruitment, ang hinahanap mo or ang sinusource mo is tao, sa employee engagement, ang sinusource mo is suppliers. So sa suppliers, because for example, sa team building, magsusupply ka ng, maghanap ka ng facilitators for a team building. Kasi syempre hindi pwede kayo lang para may facilitator. So, isa yon. Tapos venue, hanap ka ng venue para different environment naman para sa employees. So, after a team building, mas magaganahan yung employees to do their job para hindi lang puro work, mas may other para mapakita natin sa inside an organization or inside a company, merong other facets to do. There's other things to explore inside the company. So, for example, meron tayo Taco Tuesdays. May tacos every Tuesday sa company. So, that's very exciting for our employees. Diba? Meron tayong konting break from work. So, it gives you an insight on what the company is. So, mga ganon. So, for example, Mother's Day, for our company, values mothers and fathers inside the company. So, meron tayong gifts for sa Mother's Day, may gifts tayo para sa Father's Day. So, mga ganong engagement na makukuha natin from the company. So, it makes it more enjoyable to work. So, team leaders may think highly of their leaders when they establish engagement norms and manage talent and encourage candid conversations. So, from the team building, hindi lang naman siya basta-basta team building, di ba? So, from there, mas makikita mo kung sino yung employers mo. If mas kilala mo yung employers mo, you are more encouraged, and you are implicitly encouraged para mag-speak up, para magkaroon ng conversations. So this will give you a more flexibility on how to move inside the company. Mas makikilala mo yung employers mo. Therefore, mas mas ma-encourage ka to give your own insights. So this is also parang, again, to enrich the employee and employer relationship. Okay? So good. Good pa tayo. Okay pa kayong lahat? So 3 p.m. na. I'm so
Yes.
sorry. How many minutes do I have?
It's up to you.
Alright, that's good. So, I'm still in the middle of my archive. So, last facet, learning and development. So, this is where I work. I am a learning and development girlie. So, from the very start pa lang, alam ko na dito ako mapupunta because I love, just like kanina nasabi ni James, na I am an advocate for continuous learning. I believe that even if you reach a certain amount of pastoral or doctoral, there's still so much to learn and explore. So I am a great believer of that. That's why I am in this department, and this is where my heart is. So if you are an advocate of that, still learning and development is also maybe for you. So upskilling and reskilling, just like what I've said, meron tayong mga parts. Not all companies pala have learning and development. So for this one, usually, ako kasi I work in an accounting firm, and you need to have a certain, and I am in service of our accountants, and in accountancy, or if kung sino man ng lisensyado, you need a certain unit sa PRC para ma-renew mo yung license mo. So that's what we do. We provide trainings for our professionals to upskill and reskill. What do I mean by upskill and reskilling? Upskilling is para ma-upgrade mo kung ano yung skills na meron ka na. Reskilling is para matutunan mo. So for example, 5 years mo na siya hindi ginagawa. So you do a reskilling para walk through ka ulit kung ano yung process ng ganon, ng trabaho na yon or ng task na yon. So that's upskilling and reskilling. So that's very important para so this is most applied sa mga doktor, for example. Hindi sila nagsatapos mag-research. They always read research, ang mga doctors natin. Meron silang debrief every case nila, every big case nila, may debrief sila sa mga doktor para matutunan nila kung paano pa nila ma-improve yung procedure or yung surgery na ginawa nila. So there's that kind of process. No? So that's part of learning and development that is usually taught by mentors who are, for example, just like I've said earlier sa mga doktor, yung mga attendings nila, or which is the person who are head of this kind of surgery, tuturuan nila yung mga residents or yung mga interns kung ano pa yung mga pwedeng procedures on how to do this certain case. So yung ganong way pa lang, that is already training of that's already a kind of training sa ating mga professionals. So investment, learning and development, one of the goals of it is to show our employees that we invest in them. So by allowing them or giving them the opportunity to attend these certain seminars, this is a kind of investment for our professionals. So we have this one that we call ROI, or return of investment, para siyempre kapag tinrain natin si professional, siyempre yung natutunan niya sa loob ng training, mapupunta sa, it is a benefit of the company because yung mga natutunan niya, i-apply niya siyempre sa kanyang day-to-day job. So that is a kind of investment. So yun na yung return of investment. That's one of the ways. Also, investing in our employees give them a sense of trust or assurance na we believe in them, that the company believes in them, and that we value their skills and their experience by investing in them. So another part of why there's a learning and development is for safety, of course. So there are certain certain positions that requires safety training. What are these positions, or what are these employment? So one is flight attendants. as I've said earlier, flight attendants, police officers, firemen, military, and so on and so forth. So you get the idea. It's essential for businesses to remain competitive. So when we expose our professionals to training, we also increase the product quality of our company. So, syempre, na-upgrade, na-upskill sila. So, na-upgrade yung skills nila, meaning mas maganda yung mapuput in nila ng work because they found a different ways para mapaganda yung standard procedure nila. So, therefore, it is, again, a benefit not only of the employee, but the employer. So, is that good? Alright. So, gawin na tayo sa poor and good quality resume. Let me just stop sharing and let me share a different screen. Okay. Okay, here. This is an example of a poor quality resume. So, ano ang una nyo nakikita? You can open your mic. Give me one that you, or two, na nakikita nyo from this page pa lang, na mali. Na parang, anong mali? You can open your mics.
Masyadong bland.
Masyadong bland. Okay. Next, totoo, masyado siyang bland. Masyado siyang parang hindi isipan or hindi binigyan ng time, quality time. Correct? Thank you, Mariel. Any more insights?
Wala kang photo.
Ano po yun?
Wala kang photo.
Walang photo. Okay, that's also good observation, no? That is, a photo is highly recommended para makita natin if ma-visualize natin yung applicant, no? So, since I'll give out the other answers, no? So, one is thepartygirl@hotmail.com. So, that is not a very recommended email address. So, I can recommend na gawa kayo ng work email nyo para dito mapupunta lahat ng anything related at work. So, this is your work email. So, yun din yung ilalagay nyo sa CV nyo or sa resume nyo and make it look formal. Okay lang if may number, that's completely fine. Pero, something that they can identify you with immediately. So, one of that is the email address. So, next is the objective. Usually, hindi na naglalagay ng objectives ngayon. More on a short description about yourself. That's also okay. Again, let me reiterate, wala pong perfect na CV. There is only highly recommended CVs. High points or advantageous points of the CV na beneficial para sa'yo. So, here, makikita nyo sa education. Parang unorganized siya. Join student clubs, parang hindi siya complete sentence. Join student clubs, very informal, pakinggan, di ba? So, next is with study abroad program, traveled throughout Europe and visited other countries including England, France, and Germany, and Italy. So, medyo alanganin. So, for here, sa good resume natin, so dito nakikita natin yung professional email niya, ginamit niya. And then here, naka-categorize yung achievements niya or yung other curricular activities niya. So, naka-organize siya, maganda tingnan. Just like Maria said, mas parang may time and effort na binigay for making the resume. So, next one is the experience. So, work experience. Nakalagay dito ang Boston Gallery. So, nakalagay lang, help in gallery, hang new artwork, work with owner, complete paperwork for sales. So, very unfinished yung sentences. Hindi naka-align, first of all. Tama na merong nakalagay na year and kung kailan sila nag-work here. But if you look at here, nakalagay dito, prepare gallery for new exhibitions, properly hang, install artwork, adhering to specific instructions of gallery owner, open store independently, manage financial transactions, so on and so forth. So, remember what I've said in the recruitment process. The hiring manager or the HR has a job description. Needed when screening an applicant. So dito, makakahanap kayo ng data. If the person requires 3 years of experience, have handled 2 to 3 persons, makikita nyo siya sa nagawa niya, sa mga day-to-day tasks niya sa position na yon. So, having this kind of format, mas mabibigyan tayo as the recruiters some kind of data that we can hold on to, that that we can confirm during the interview para ma-consider natin and there's a higher chance of consideration for the next step of the recruitment process. Kasi dito makikita mo na alam niyang mag-prepare mag-handle ng arts from end-to-end process. Kasi hanggang preparation to demonstration sa customer. So, nakuha niya yung end-to-end process in a detailed yet brief description. It's important to brief kasi, again, our recruiters are screening. So, mas preferable if brief yung ating brief, concise, pero puno ng data na magagamit ng recruiters. So, that's one of it. Next part, ito, fancy restaurant in Boston, Mass. So, please specify which company you work for specifically. So, as I've said, so meron dito siyang skills and interests. So, that's important too. Minsan, hinahanap ng job description, proficient ka sa, for example, very basic, Microsoft Excel, proficient ka sa Microsoft Excel. If that's included in your resume, that's one point, again, on your benefit, no? So, makikita dito, computer skills, very detailed, very organized, and formal. Ito yung computer skills niya. Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, and then other applications that she has a masteral with. She mastered it. No. So, meron siyang community service na section. So, this will show you different engagements kung para sa recruiter, para makita natin if what other capabilities does this person or this applicant has. So, yun. So, babalik na ako sa aking normal presentation. So, for this, next part natin. So, I have, malapit ako matapos. So, this is just research about what makes an HR professionals effective. This is a qualitative evidence from telecom sector of a developing country. So, this was in Pakistan, I believe. Yeah, this is from Pakistan. So, they've interviewed 10 HR professionals, 10 HR executives on what makes HR effective. So, they did interview, no? So it's a semi-structured interview. So two of the results that I found is human capital development. So this is another part of learning and development. So this is gratifying employees' needs in terms of functional, behavioral, and leadership. This also includes in career progression, succession planning, on-the-job training, and e-learning. So somehow it is learning and development. So as I've said earlier, it is important to upskill, reskill, and train. And then it is also not only applicable sa ating employees, but also to our HR professionals, because our world is ever changing and it is continuously developing, and we have to develop with it. So, what makes us effective is adapting to the changes of our corporate world. So, ngayon, di ba, dati puro walk-ins. I remember my sister telling me na dati nung nag-a-apply siya, meron siyang brown envelope ng mga papeles niya. Like, for example, nandun yung NBI niya, nandun yung resumes niya, and all of that, yung diplomas, yung TOR niya, nandun lahat. So, ngayon, nung ako yung nag-a-apply, nakasave lang lahat sa Google Drive. See how it's developing? Me and my sister is just 5 years apart, and it's already been changed that much. Ngayon, most of the time, makakahanap ka ng trabaho online, virtually. Virtual yung interview, and so on and so forth. Dati walk-in, papasok ka sa company, kakatoka, meron mo ba dito position, dito sa position na to? Or meron lang mga, sa newspaper, dati pa, sa newspaper sila makakahanap ng trabaho. Meron dito opening na ganito, ganyan dito. So, it's ever-changing, and we have to adapt with the world and the technology that it offers. So ngayon, I think that we are venturing to AI na. And we have to learn on how AI can help us as HR professionals, and so on and so forth. So next is organizational culture. HR professionals states that a strong organizational culture constructively can lead employees to effectiveness, as it enables employees to perform the best that they can. So once I've as I said earlier, sa engagement natin, sa employee engagement, we have to know the company. What does it stand for? Who is it for? Para malaman natin on how we can align our values and align our work sa values ng company. So that's very important. Staying in a company that is aligned with your culture is very important para sa ating employees. You would be, for example, ako, I work with a company that is encouraging to speak up. So our culture is, pag may mali, you have to speak up. So that is encouraged no matter what your position is in the company. So that is very important to me. So see how that aligns, and that makes our employees more effective, not just our HR. So meron pang another result for this, pero hindi ko na siya nasama sa presentation, which is the system, the human resource system. So these are the different applications that our HR uses para maging mas effective yung ating department. So this includes the system in the payroll, paano mo ma-manage yung attendance. So these are merong mga HRIS systems. These are this scans the CVs ng employees natin para hindi na tayo magma-manual screening. May mga ganun ng technologies ngayon. It just depends on your company if they have these different technologies or different systems. So that's it. So thank you for listening. Let me end my presentation with a quote. The only way to do great work is to love what you do. If you haven't found it yet, keep looking. So thank you for everyone here for organizing, and I would like to hear your insights or questions if you have any. Thank you so much.
Ayun, thank you so much, Miss Livina. Sobrang meaningful naman nung speech na yon. Talagang marami kaming aral na natutunan and mababaon in the future and in the present right now. And now, we are now opening the table for our audience para mag-share ng kanilang thoughts and ideas, or if they have questions para sa ating guest speaker, she will answer it right away. Someone raise their hand. Who is it? Genesis. Please open your mic.
Okay, good afternoon, ma'am. First, I would like to thank for your meaningful presentation. So, as a freshman and a first-year HR student, we gain knowledge today. Siyempre po, hindi pa po namin kasi siya totally major subject since sa third year pa po namin siya matitake yung mga insight or mga lesson about HRM. So, this afternoon po is we gain knowledge about sa recruitment, sa mga screening and selection about sa mga employee na kukuhanin namin in the future. And dun sa mga website or apps na pwede namin magamit in the future para makakuha kami ng mas mabilis na trabaho. And then also sa mga resume and CV, kung paano maging organized or yung pwede namin magamit kapag nag-OJT na kami. Since in fourth year po, magagamit namin yung mga organized or yung mga much better po na resume na pwede namin ipasa sa mga company. So thank you very much for that.
Thank you so much, Ms. Genesis, and I hope na magpatuloy mo yung HR na course until mag-graduate ka. So, more power to you po. Thank you so much for your kind words.
If there are any, you may now, si Ate Denise.
Hi, Jay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ms. Para po sa share ng iyong knowledge about human resource po. And just to share po, it is really true na most of us ay talagang and I guess na through your mga slides at mga sinabi po ninyo, mas magiging person or kasi po, ito po person and pagiging HR is not just magiging ka lang sa isang trabaho. You have an option to the recruitment team, you have an option so isa yung HR I this is channel po. So I just wanna give po and review po for this webinar. Labang po and thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ms. Denise. So sometimes medyo choppy on my end, pero I've tried to I heard the gist of your message, and yes, I noticed ko kanina nung sinabi nila James and Ibea na napilitan yung most of the people or the students here sa HR. So what I'd like to reiterate or encourage you is that there are so many facets sa HR. Meron pa tayong OD, meron pa tayong different parts. So I want you to try to keep an open mind while you're taking this course and really find where you align more. So for me, for example, sa akin, I aligned more in learning and development because I like teaching or executing trainings. So doon ako nagta-thrive. So find the career path where you most likely you find yourself or you imagine yourself. Dito ako nagta-thrive. Feeling ko sa recruitment, for example, kapag nakita ko yung employee na pinakasimula sa screening process pa lang, there is a certain joy kasi nung nag-recruitment na din ako, there's a certain joy of seeing your applicant, the applicant that you've selected and you've interviewed, you've done your initial interview with, na makakuha ng trabaho. And then you see them thrive in the company. Makikita mo yung applicant na na-hire mo, na na-source mo, or yung na-recruit mo. Ngayon, siya, one of the best employees or one of the high performers in the company. So that's really gratifying mo. Kasi syempre, kasama ka sa pinaka-part ng journey nila. Tapos ngayon, makikita mo sila, they're excelling, they're thriving in the company or the position that you've give the opportunity that they were given. So that's really something that I look forward to when I was working in my internship during recruitment, no. So now I'm in the learning and development, and I found that I've aligned more on this path or the career path because it turns out I like facilitating trainings. So nagfa-facilitate ako ng trainings ngayon, and I've really enjoyed it. Parang mas gusto ko mag-work. Monday is not dreadful for me. Monday is actually okay, and the whole week. And then so that's something that I would like to encourage you. Find the position or the facet of HR where you are more aligned. So thank you so much, Miss Denise. Hi, Miss Esther.
Yes, hindi to question. I would like to thank Miss Divina or Miss Divine. Tama ba? Divine nickname mo?